What can be said about StarFox? StarFox is a game that has shaped people's hearts who love Nintendo, but StarFox's newer games are anus poop. But the older ones are such classical. It all started with StarFox. No, not that one, that one. Now, I don't review much Super Nintendo games. Even though I reviewed Balls 3D, I still don't really review much Super Nintendo games at all. Since when I was a kid, I mostly played NES and N64 games from my family, so I don't really have any nostalgia for the SNES or Genesis. And I do have some nostalgia for StarFox, at least for the Super Nintendo. And the StarFox story is pretty simple. This game takes place in the Lilat system, a stellar system in the StarFox universe as inhabited by animal races. Foxes, frogs, dogs, birds, rabbits, apes, etc. It contains the planets Cornea and Venom, representing good and evil, respectively. One can visit many other planets, asteroid belts, space stations, etc. While going through the course of the game, which paths the player chooses affects what places they will encounter. Andros, a mad scientist, has fled to planet Venom after being banished from planet Cornea, and has now declared war on Cornea and unleashed an enormous army to wreak havoc on the Lilat system. The leader of the team is accompanied by his teammates, Falco Lombardi, Peppy Hare, and Slippy Toad. So that's the storyline. Then came StarFox 64, and it was the first Rumble-compatible game for the N64. It was a revolutionary game, but why isn't it called StarFox 2? Well, in 1995, they were working on StarFox 2 for the SNES, but since it was the end of the SNES's lifespan, they moved it over to the N64, but the SNES version was already completely finished but never released. And there are many ROMs of it surfaced on the internet, and I'm gonna play the English translation of the game and review it. So you start the game and realize it is so realistic for Super Nintendo. I mean, look at this. And it is very similar to the first StarFox game, but it is much, much, much more realistic. And it is 2D, but it also has a 3D perspective of the 2D to make it look 3D. And the game uses the same exact camera angles as used in Super Mario 64, which is pretty much a great fun fact. Anyways, it is very much like the first StarFox, but also has huge changes. The plot is very different too here. You see, after Andros' defeat in the first StarFox game, Andros returns to the Lilat system and launches an all-out attack against Cornea, using his new fleet of battleships and giant missiles launched from hidden bases to destroy the planet. General Pepper again calls upon the StarFox team to help. So yeah, it is different altogether. And to tell you the story in a summary, technically freaking StarFox is technically a fox in space with ships and a team to kill the bad guy under the General Pepper. It's pretty simple. And also one more thing about the game is that you have 6 playable characters, which is also cool. So that's StarFox 2. It never saw a release, even though it was finished in development. And you know StarFox will always be a good franchise, minus the freaking rare versions of the game. Oh my gosh, ugh. But is StarFox 2 a good game? Yes and no. If you think about it in another way, I'm kinda happy it wasn't released, because StarFox 64 is much more better. So I'm happy the N64 came out, because I'd rather have that game than StarFox 2, and that there will always be a ROM for it on some form on the internet. That's all for this video.